It's Friday and there's no West Ham. No West Ham. It's really weird. I always get to this point, you know what I mean? Just ahead of the weekend. If West Ham aren't playing, there's always this sort of feeling of a bit of a shame, really. But England, I suppose, are playing tonight. I'm not so sure what to make of it, really. Obviously wait and see. But I've got to be honest, I'm not impressed with Tuchel's team selection. I think it's been really poor. But he does talk a good talk, to be fair to him. So let's wait and see. I mean, if England go out and play really well, then fair enough. But yeah, that selection certainly wasn't an exciting one. I didn't sort of breathe any really belief, did it, into the fact that we might have a manager that's going to be able to really take his team forward. But look, I'm going to give the guy a chance, of course. But yeah, the selection certainly didn't give me much to be too excited about. Slim pickings over West Ham at the moment. I'm actually away this weekend, so I'm going to be struggling to do my normal sort of recordings as per. So it's going to be a little bit like this, hence why I'm not obviously sitting down not doing it where I usually would. Yeah, brother's wedding this weekend, so it's going to be quite a busy one. But I just want to bring up a couple of West Ham bits before I do head off. Firstly, Lucas Paqueta. I mean, obviously, this FA hearing has begun. It started on Monday, so this will be the first week it's concluded. It's expected to go on for another couple of weeks. The big development there, and it is massive as far as I'm concerned, huge, is the fact that good old David Moyes, is coming to the aid, really, of Lucas Paqueta, because he's going to act as a witness. And this is regarding the yellow card that he received against Bournemouth, which is the one of them. I think they're looking at 4 yellow cards, so this is one that they're looking at and they consider part of their case. So as far as I understand it, Lucas Paqueta made it very clear to David Moyes he didn't want to play in the game because this was ahead of his probable move at the time to Manchester City, which was all going through at that period. So he didn't want to play. He didn't want to risk getting injured. But Moyes said to him, well, look, you're our player, you're playing. But there was a kind of an agreement that if we were comfortable in the game, that he'd take him off. Apparently there's evidence behind that. It was quite clear that he was signalling to the bench he wanted to come off. And then later in the game, anyway, he didn't take him off until quite later. And before that, he got booking. So I've got to be honest, right? This is just my general feeling of it. I think that's absolutely massive if David Moyes can collaborate that. Because at the end of the day, if what the FA are doing, which we understand it, is they're doing their case based on probability, then they haven't really got any really hard evidence. We kind of know they haven't because they've been struggling. We know they've been struggling for evidence. That's been kind of the case throughout. They've got no real hard evidence against Paqueta. It's all based on the fact that it's more likely you were involved. But if you've got David Moyes then coming forward as a witness, and this, to be honest, this is a credible witness. This is not someone that he knows back in Brazil, a mate, you know what I mean, to say, yeah, no, he weren't going to get a booking. This is, a highly regarded Premier League manager, PFA award-winning manager. So if he's going to come forward and say, well, no, he didn't even want to play in this game, then I think that could be absolutely monumental, actually. I really hope it is. What result that would be if Paqueta is found innocent in all of this. But yeah, obviously we'll find out how it all pans out, but I think it's massive and really big, obviously, of David Moyes as well. Great of him to come and come forward and obviously try and support Paqueta in this. So yeah, obviously see how that one pans out. Other news as well, just doing the rounds, is Tim Steidten, apparently very close to joining Crystal Palace, which is a bit of a shock. I'm quite surprised. Look, I've got no. I feel like Tim Steidten wasn't horrendous, in terms of the players he brought in and stuff. I do think that there was some success stories there. I felt like ever since he arrived, though, there was always this air that he was going to cause problems. The attitude wasn't great. We'll wait and see how he gets on. I'm just quite surprised. I'm quite surprised another Premier League club are really, really interested in him. But let's just wait and see. It's not easy to see how this is going to pan out in terms of these roles, and it's you're just kind of guessing, aren't you? But apparently he is very close to securing a deal there. It's going to have no impact as far as we understand in terms of our compensation to him. It's not going to make any difference. We still have to pay him off, so that's still going to happen. But so West Ham won't be saving any money, which I wouldn't expect them to anyway. But yeah, quite big news. It'd be interesting to see how he gets on there. We're watching with a little bit of interest there to see, obviously, if he does anything quite interesting and does very well there. I just get the feeling that because of how he is and his way about him, it's going to be interesting to see. Let's see how he gets on with Glasner, because obviously we know that he fell out obviously with Moyes and he fell out with Lopetegui, so that's going to be quite an interesting one. That's of course if he gets the job, but certainly one I'll be keeping an eye on. The other one I just want to touch on as well is Wissa of Brentford. So apparently, as we understand it, he could be available this summer. Brentford might want to cash into him. Obviously, he's 29. So don't get me wrong, great player, but he might be someone that other clubs are going to target. And obviously, they might be looking at him thinking it's just a good time to cash in. He's 29 now. We can then go and get that next striker. So I totally understand it. I'm just really relieved to hear that West Ham have just gone, no, we're not interested. He doesn't fit the criteria, because of his age. I mean, because this would typically be a West Ham signing, wouldn't it? It really would. You look at him and think, how many times down the years have we done this, especially with strikers? We spent all this money on players that just simply haven't worked. I mean, you got to look at Nicholas Fulkrug. I mean, I know something. Don't get me wrong, Fulkrug's a good, decent player. I'm not even going to go in terms of he's a bad player, but he's 32 for God's sake. You know what I mean? And we spent what, £27 million on him, and he's injury prone as well. You know what I mean? It's like our record of signing strikers is diabolical, and I'm just so glad to hear that we've gone. Look, don't get me wrong. This is a great player. I'm not knocking him. He's done fantastically well at Brentford. A brilliant player, but he's 29. He's past his best. Don't start, because you're never going to get a return on these players. If you go out and spend, let's say, even if you got him for say 25 million, that's it. You know what I mean? The value drops immediately. He's never going to, immediately as you sign him, but after that, he's worth 15. You know what I mean? It's just not worth it. So I'm really, really glad to hear that West Ham are just turning away from that. So, yeah, that's all it is at the moment. There's not really much else to really talk about. Oh, actually, there is one more thing to talk about. I've heard back from the football club, West Ham. Nothing so exciting yet. They've acknowledged the letter. They're reviewing the letter and they're going to respond accordingly. So, at least that's something already. So, at least they're going to respond. So, I'll let you know once something does come back official, and and obviously I'll give the response on it, and then we may have to go back again. We'll wait and see. Let's wait and see what they come back with first. But look, any other big news? I will obviously do videos while I'm away anyway, if need be. But at the moment, it's obviously a little bit quiet, especially with international duty at the moment. And there's not a lot for West Ham to play for. It's just really most of it at the moment is transfer gossip and things like that, which I've kind of a bit exhausted with already, especially with this whole Jonathan David and Angel Gomez stuff. It's just becoming a bit frustrating to keep hearing about, and the updates never really seem that positive. But look, let's hope it changes. Hopefully it does, and hopefully West Ham start putting their finger out and behaving themselves better, because at the moment this low ball stuff is starting to really wind me up. But look, have a great Friday anyway. Take care of yourselves, and I'll be back with a video very soon. Take care. Come on, your irons.